Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? Fantastic, I hope. Y'all got me just in time. I'm actually going to start training for a 5K. You know what that is? It's like a race where a lot of people get together and they run. Some at some pace fast, some pace at a medium pace, and others at maybe even a slower pace. But I'm going to train hard so that I can run the best race I can. No, I'm not trying to beat anyone. I just want to be the best I can. Uh, uh, we don't have much time. I actually got to start stretching. Y'all want to run with me? Y'all welcome to come. All month long, we're going to be talking about a word that's very, very important with this 5K. What do you think the word is called? No. Try this. Commitment. Don't go anywhere now. Yeah. Making a plan and putting it into practice. Commitment. Yeah, you've got to make a plan, but most importantly, you've got to put it into practice. It becomes extremely tough. There's a lot of things that gets in our way. Our friends, things we want to do, even our own habits. If we don't, what? Overcome those bad things, guess what happens? Yeah, we lose our commitment. And guess what? We never accomplish what we set out to do. I tell you what, you can't do it by yourself. Yeah, it's always good to have somebody remind you. It's always good to put notes up. But one of the most important things, you gotta have what? Yeah. Let me say it like this. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. Training the body has some value, but being godly has value in every way. It promises to help you for the life you're living and the life to come. Yeah, it has nothing to do with somebody reminding you, really. Except for the Bible verses that we read. The Sunday school lesson. And even our own steady time at home. Guess what? Nobody's going to make us do it. It all has to be what? Yeah, something we want to do. Something we want to put into practice. It starts out just this way. Being able to do what? Keep practicing on what matters the most. We've got to think about what really matters the most to us. And that's what we have to put all our effort, all of our practice in. Guess what? What matters to us most? Yeah, our parents, our grades, but how we live for Christ. That's the only thing that'll last. I tell you what, I'm going to start stretching. And this time, y'all want to run along with me? I think I could teach the lesson while we're running. I tell y'all what, while I'm stretching, go get your shoes, put on your running clothes on, and we'll meet back here in just a moment. Now that we're all stretched out, let's start stretching our legs a little bit. Take it slow. We don't want anybody to pull anything. Well, we could just kind of get warmed up just a little bit. Can everybody hear me? If you need to slow down, just let me know. I'll stay at a pretty easy pace once we get started. Later on, we'll pick up the pace a little bit. Well, we don't have to be ready for the 5K just in one day. We can take it nice and slow. That's what making a plan is. It's making a plan and not saying, hey, we're going to get there tomorrow. A plan usually takes steps. Week by week by week, month by month by month. But each week, each day, each month, you're checking your list off, getting things accomplished, getting better and better at whatever it is that you put into practice. That's what commitment's all about. It's about being able to do it every single day. Yeah, we got some days we don't feel like doing it, but that doesn't change our what? Our commitment. Because if it does, then that means our plans are going to change. If our plans change, then that means our goals will change. And then our success will change. We don't want any of that to happen. So we got to stay what? That's right. We got to stay committed. So, have y'all ever committed on doing anything? I mean, like saying, hey, I'm going to clean my room. Or saying, hey, going to make better grades. Or even saying, hey, I'm going to make a dance team, basketball team. You just don't say something vague. You say, hey, I've got a C and I want to pull them up to a B plus. And then you're going to say, well, what do I need to do? I need to study a little bit more often on science. I need to study a little bit more on math. I need to do a few more math problems. Well, not only do you have to say what you're going to do, but you also got to say what? Yeah, how often you going to do it? You can't do it the same amount that you were doing it before because you'll get what? You won't get any better. Your results can't be any different. So if you're used to just doing your homework after school, you may want to open up your book maybe before you go to school. Maybe wake up 20 minutes early. 20 minutes is really not a lot. You may be doing it 2-3 days a week. Look what that is. That's a whole hour. You may even on Saturday, instead of watching a program you may have already seen already, or playing a video game that you've played 15 million times, you say, hey, I'm going to study my math, or I'm going to study my science. It's not a lot. It's only what? Yeah. It's only 20 minutes. You got to ask yourself, is it important? Maybe it's not. We know it is. So if you want to do anything important, you need commitment. You got to have a plan. You actually can look up in the Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24 and 25. Paul actually talks about running a race in a letter that he wrote to the church of Corinth. Now, they weren't running races in 5Ks back then. Paul was using it like a metaphor to be able to talk about how we run our race for God. This is what it says. In a race, all runners run, but only one gets the prize. You know that, don't you? So run in a way that you will get the prize. All who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Paul uses this example that just like I was in first grade, I got a medal for winning a race. I don't even know what that medal is. People get trophies. Those trophies rot and rust. You work hard to be able to win the race, to be able to win the trophy. Why don't we take that same effort to be able to win the trophy for God? We don't have to earn our salvation, but once we get it, we're expected to keep it. Keep it meaning it's a promise that we've given to Him, that we want to do what's pleasing in His sight. You know, He sees all and knows all, so it's nothing we have hidden. Everything's going to come to light. So why don't we just run the race just like we should? Mr. Edward can tell you, when you don't run the race like you should, you miss out. And I just don't want you all to miss out. Because guess what? It's a real bad feeling to know you missed out. Knowing you could have done so, you just didn't practice hard. We've got a long course. This course of life, you don't know how long it's going to be. But you know, once the marathon's over with, you want to do what? You want to know that you ran the best race you could. You want to get your training plan. You want to have months playing out as to what you're going to do. Not the running, the marathon, but But how much better you going to be at obeying your mom and dad? At treating people nice? And forgiving your friend? And even sharing? What about even just helping out with the dishes? Or taking out the trash? All those things, because at that point in time, what do? We're putting it into practice. Yeah. We're taking it step by step, just as we planned it. And the more we practice, guess what? It becomes much easier. Our body gets stronger. We're not bothered by the little things anymore. It's like we're going from strength to strength. We don't really get tired. It doesn't really bother us as much as it did before. But guess what we always have to do? We always have to fuel up our body with the right stuff. You know, you get dehydrated, can't you? When you get dehydrated, you get drunk. You get tired. You get mean. So we've got to keep the right fuel in our system. We got to eat the right foods. And we got to drink the right liquids. We got to be healthy. Man have to stay off the sweets too. Yeah, even the butter pecan ice cream, man, this kills. Hey, we're going to do all this together. But one thing that I bet you don't want me to think about. Yep. You gotta get your rest. It means you can't stay up until 11 o'clock playing video games. Or searching on your cell phone. You gotta go to bed at a decent hour. 8:30. Maybe even 9 o'clock. Because we want our body to do what? To grow. So we can wake up in the morning and we could be ready with a lot of energy. Because tomorrow may be just as tough as today was. We don't know. But guess what? The more and more we practice, the more and more stay committed to our plan, the better we'll feel. The more enthusiasm we'll have about the next time we got to get out and run and practice. It feels great when you had a good practice, doesn't it? It makes you want to go and practice the very next day. Who's ever had a good day of practice and like, oh, I don't want to go to practice tomorrow? Nobody says that. They're excited. Yeah, we can't control how practice goes, but we can do all we can to be able to train hard. If we run the race well, we live out what matters most. We need to do what Jesus said. That's the most important thing. Check out what he says in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 through 39. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your mind. This is the first and most important commandment. And the second is like this: love your neighbor as yourself. If I want help, why don't I want to help our neighbor? If I didn't want nobody to laugh at me, why wouldn't I laugh at my neighbor? This plan is pretty easy. He gives us great direction. Yeah. Look at Jesus. He gives us the example. So these are a few things that we're going to talk about for the rest of the month. Hearing. We've got to be able to hear. If you got a train coming and you don't know it, what can happen? If somebody's calling your name and you can't hear it, how can you pay attention? We've got to grow in our relationship with God to take time to hear it. Well, how can we hear it? We have to read what's written in the Bible. God's not going to say anything different than what he has already said. And we'll realize that we can trust God no matter what. The second thing is to be able to pray. We all can take time to pray to God because we got to stay connected with him. We tell him thank you. We can tell him we're sorry. And we can also tell him how we feel about things going on in our lives. He cares. The third is to be able to talk. Yeah. We can talk about God to others. Yeah, we don't know it all, but what we do know, we can talk to our friends about it. And we can listen to other people talk about him too. They can share their testimony and we can share ours. It'll lift us all. And the last one is live. We can live for God in everything we do. How? We can worship him. Not just by singing, but by the way we live, the way we treat others, the choices that we make every day. That's our worship. Now that we have our faith training plan, it's important that we put it into practice. That's what commitment's all about. Maybe you already read your Bible. Maybe you already prayed or talk to God. Maybe you even already talk to God. Talk about God to other people. Because that's what we do in small groups. Or maybe you want to just get started doing it. That's fantastic. All of us can take one step at a time toward what? Commitment. Yeah. Making a plan and putting it into practice. We can do it. Remember, keep practicing what matters the most. Let's stay connected to our commitment so that we can live out what Jesus said is the most important thing. Love God and love others. It's all about practicing what's the most important thing. And remember, commitment is all about making a plan and putting it into practice.